Einstein, the Nobel Peace Prize winner for physics in 1921, stated that time is relative. I took business calculus and financial management courses that taught me how to measure the time value of money. In reconciling both ideas, I would say I like to spend time with my relatives and people I value. And one of the biggest compliments a person might hear is, "I value your time." Wikipedia documents well over 206 films with time travel themes that have been created by Hollywood in recent history, and most of them have been blockbusters. Most, if not all, of the movies involve main characters who must use determination, strong force, and persistence to change the progression of events. Even in literature, H.G. Wells didn't begin the time machine concept. In the story A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Ebenezer Scrooge gets a tour of his past, only to learn to appreciate the holidays and the people around him. Why do you think It's a Wonderful Life from filmmaker Frank Capra became so popular? It's because of the storyline. They line up all of George Bailey's lifetime regrets, and in one night he discovers that all of his regrets were blessings that stopped tragedies in other people's lives. I hear people say too often, "I wish I had a time machine," and the next statement involves getting circumstances right in a relationship, career choices, premonition on knowing the right stocks to purchase, and the right investments. Daydreams, stories, imaginations, and time machine movies can be altruistic. How many people ever sat in a history class or watched a documentary and the imagination starts turning? Everyone has their daydream of their own personal time machine to save history. I wish I had a time machine so I could have stopped Adolf Hitler, Pol Pot, and the Khmer Rouge, stopped genocide in Rwanda, among other historical events. Very often the imagination goes to the time machine to handle their regrets. The dream involves changing past events for the better on behalf of themselves, a group of people, or humanity. The part of that humanity within that wants to change the future for the better. Where does the dream of protecting the human race and altering history come from? In the myth of Prometheus, Prometheus reflected the inner desire of the individual to humanize, to help humanity, to love what it means to be human, expressive, outwardly reflected in the actions toward the people around you. These are defined within the words philanthropy, philanthropos, and philanthropia. Philanthropy, love the human race, in other words, the desire to change tragic events for the better. I think of a song from my musician friend Stu Weaver from St. Augustine. The song is called Clock. It's from his album Seconds.
And it's really a clock, not a quarter, worn down nearly thin as a dime. And isn't it strange how a pocket of change can measure the passage of time?
Lifetimes measure the passage of time. Mirrors measure the changes in you and how much you've grown, from the time you were a child to the time you were gray-headed. Pictures measure the passage of time, and you value those moments with those individuals.
And it's really a clock, not a mirror. Yeah, the face it reflects is still mine. The depth of the line, that's the surest of signs that it measures the passage of time.
You can listen to Stu Weaver's music at stuweaver.com. In a deeper investigation into the future value of time, we all know that there is a lot more to measure in time value than just money. There is a time value of inspiration. There is a time value of people. And often we measure the value of people through appreciation, and we have gratitude for a person that is valued. There is a time value of family. I value time with my family. A time value of wisdom. I need to consider the consequences of my actions. There is a time value of knowledge because there are times to apply it. There is a time value of information. Wow, I could have used that information yesterday. There is a time value of research, a time value of opportunities. There's a time value of intuition and inspiration. There's a time value of optimism and a time value of creativity. There is a time value of classic art with classic paintings. I had that business idea 6 months ago. Now I've seen someone else run with it. There's a time value of opportunities. There's a time value of truth. Lies waste everyone's time. There's a time value of verification. There's a time value of gifts. Reminisce about the time or the event and the person that gave it to you. From the time they gave it to you till now, there's a time value of a gift. There's a time value of animals. Every time you come home after work, your pet shows up just like clockwork. You might have a watchdog that looks after and protects your house. There is a time value of health. There are so many things that you value. And the truth is that you do have a time machine, and it's called now, because the decisions you make now determine the course of the future. You have the power to respond to the future with the planning and decisions that you make now. It is within your power to influence the progression of events that you have control over. Norman Cousins said, "Wisdom consists in the anticipation of consequences." How does a person influence the progression of events? Shakespeare said, "All the world is a stage, and we are merely players." Imagine that you are the director of the play that is your life, and you propel your future by opening the first curtain, which is the first act of the play, which involves philanthropos. You are learning and developing your well-educated habits by your teachers, your friends, your family, your loved ones, and the people who help you learn and succeed educationally. The second rope that opens the next curtain of your life is the philanthropia, the discovery, improvement, and application of your abilities. The next act in the play is the next progressive event. How are you going to act in the play in order to reach the desired conclusion? There are 2 levers that control the progression of events, and we will discuss the first one in detail. Pro-sequence, a series of beneficial events that build up over time. It involves planning and acting through the events that you want to experience. The prefix pro in a word structure generally means to move forward. When you think about the future, you are thinking forward. When you plan the future, you are planning forward. Forward, is the root of many positive words. The pro-sequence is the process of progress. It's the procession of progression. I know it's a new word, and please follow me along this logic, that in evaluating a situation, you must determine the pros and cons, or the positive and negative to a decision. The word prosequence refers to situations that build on each other to achieve a desired outcome, or a series of positive sequences that build up over time. The first step in the prosequence is to find out what's right about situations. If you were steering a ship into the future, the philanthropos and philanthropia are the sails, and the movement of progressive events is the rudder. What sequence of events do we need to schedule in order to make the ideal future happen? What is my ideal future, and how do I influence a set of outcomes to get there? Think about the pro-sequence this way when it comes to goals and planning. Let's imagine that you have a camera that you can propel into the future. It will take pictures of your life and how things will turn out week by week. What steps, what actions do you need to make to improve the quality of the pictures 4 years from now? The power of having written and visual goals, speaking positively about the future, feeding your mind with quality information, and developing your intuitive and inspirational wisdom all increase your power to influence the progression of events, circumstances, and situations. Whatever you can think or dream, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Your first task is to take some time to think and dream. Maybe it's time to get clear about what the desires of your heart and your ambitions are. Habakkuk 2 from the Judeo-Christian Bible says, "Write the vision and make it plain, so he may run that reads it." And then the message goes on to say, "The just shall live by his faith." Habakkuk was instructed to write this on tablets. In modern speak, it says, "The just shall be vitalized by confidence." Write the vision, make it plain to you. Write a vision of the future so that you may follow the plan and be vitalized by the confidence of your plans. Make the lists and follow the confidence that vitalizes you. In other words, that's important to you. The desires of your heart, your ambitions. A half hour of planning the next progression of events will enhance your productivity and can save yourself days of work. Make a list of your ambitions. Make a list of the pro-sequences. Begin your brainstorm by listing your half-finished projects and your list of things you always knew you ought to do and the things you wanted to get around to it. It takes a certain amount of planning to see clearly, so in the decision-making process, after you've completed half-completed projects, you can see clearly and act rightly on your next decisions. Your progressive event may be to finish the book that is on your shelf, schedule the class you are interested in, walk a half mile. Designing your life also includes governing your conversation and your mental focus towards your listed ambitions. Have a vivid expectation of the future. Your ambitions are valuable and fragile, so you should only discuss your future plans with people who are setting goals and having future plans. What positive sequence of events will improve your situation? Your career. Visualize the future, developing your 2020 vision, the plan for where your life will be in the year 2020. The more ambitious the vision is, the more progressive events it will take to accomplish it, or the more valuable ideas you will need to brainstorm. Your goal is to enhance the vision. What your vision or dream means to you may mean something special or creative just to you. I don't recommend engraving graffiti in public places that says, "The just shall be vitalized by confidence," but find out what it means to you. What statement represents your goals? Maybe you could write it in the sand when you were dreaming and focus it later in the day. Set your ambitions in writing in a format that you can understand. Create an ambition journal and review your ambitions. Set goals, move your feet towards them, and influence the course of your life and where you will be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, 12 years from now. It's the plan to keep our ambitions in the forefront and live our lives fully in the now, and become conscious that our futures can be better with well-thought-out decisions that we make. Then we can look back at the past without regrets and say, "I'm glad I made that decision." Value your time. Value now. It takes quality time to build a quality future. Design your life, design your business, and design your innovations. Do more than write your ambitions. Design your life. The most productive people I know take a significant amount of time to design and pattern the activities of their future, whether it be next week, next month, or next year, with planning. They combine written and visual representations of their ambitions and list the progression of events that are needed to make them real. Define the process to make the progress. Be deliberate about the direction of your life. Be deliberate about the direction of your business. We will discuss this in Chapter 6. The design of your life is as unique as you are. Create a notebook or journal, including your written ambitions with pictures that represent the fulfillment of the goal that you want in your life. I use a 5-subject spiral notebook with one section to define my goals and knowledge, and one section to define my goals and productive abilities. I also use the same concepts on word processors. I have seen business leaders and managers use 5 Excel spreadsheet books in one password-protected document that define their company goals. The remaining 3 sections of the 3-subject notebook are discussed in Chapter 6. Maybe you can find digital pictures that represent your dreams that you can put in the background of your computer, iPad, or PDA. Write down your ambitions at the top. Put a present tense phrase regarding your written goals. You will start a new page for every ambition, whether to start a new business venture, improve your sales, improve your relationships, or improve your quality of life. Maybe your ambitions include innovation or improving your current career, scientific or technological breakthroughs. Be certain that your financial ambitions include moving towards financial independence. Tap the origins of original thought that make you creative in the first place. When you need to be creative, think about the process of progress that is right for you. When you locate pictures, whether online or in magazines, locate pictures that represent the ambitions that you are planning for. Place the pictures that best represent the symbols of your ambitions and place it on that page. Beneath or beside the picture, list the progression of events that will need to occur in order to push the ambition into existence. This list could be very long or involve other long-term goals. Write the vision, make it plain. Identify the point of philanthropia. What inner talents am I going to need to apply to make it happen? Identify the points of philanthropos. Ask yourself, what knowledge will I need to apply to make this goal occur? Identify the skills, talents, and abilities that you will need to apply to make this ambition happen. In review, the first stage curtain for the first act is philanthropos, or education used and shared. The second curtain is the development of the productive abilities or talents. The first lever to affect the future is the pro-sequence, which is the planned or intended series of events through goal setting. And the second way to influence the future is the effective door. Philanthropy opens the effective door for another person. Identify the areas that you will assist others with similar aspirations. The effective door is the second lever to influence the future. This is an example of the effective door. You discover a good book or a great resource and exclaim, "I wish I read that book so many years ago. My life would have completely changed." I remember one of the books I liked. It was Getting Straight A's by Gordon Green, who was an economics major. I picked up a copy of the book when I was 20 and said, "I wish I would have had that book when I was 16. I now carry extra copies of books like this, improvement books. Although I could not change the atoms of the universe or break the laws of physics to get books into my possession earlier in time. I tried the push of the wish to make it happen, and it didn't work. All I could do is move forward in my experience. I could, however, find people that were interested in getting good grades and share copies of the book with them, or find a parent of somebody that was making decisions about attending college. Improving another's experience and improving the quality of life so that they can have better experiences in the future opens the effective doors of progress. It creates an immediate pro-sequence for somebody with similar goals. This is why great progress can be obtained through the multiplication both of the education and the skills of the people who represent generations forward. Can you find somebody who needs good resources? As the time you wish you had that information and share it with them? That is the book that you may want to share with someone else. The information that helped you can become the best information to share with somebody who really needs it. Then that person shares the book with the next person that really needs it, and you're practicing philanthropos and philanthropia without realizing it. Maybe it's time for another new word, prospiracy. A deliberate plan to do something beneficial. Or maybe, better yet, two terms, prospiracy theory. The theory that there is a group of people far and wide, perhaps hundreds, perhaps thousands, that use their planning deliberately for a progressive purpose. Imagine 15 million businesses harnessing their forces to improve the future, improve the economy, and improve civilization, with their products that improve the qualities of life of the people around them.